We already know that smartphones and digitization have fundamentally reshaped our behavior. They fragment our focus, disrupt deep thinking, affect sleep, and constantly pull our attention away from the real world. Research shows it takes around 23 minutes to regain focus after a single digital interruption. And the average worker checks email close to 30 times an hour. A clear sign of how addictive constant connectivity has become. But this problem isn't just about personal habits. With the rise of digital tools and smartphones, employers now have an ever present channel to reach workers, even after work hours. A decade ago, once you clocked out, you were done. You weren't expected to answer calls, check emails, or engage with work until the next official workday. Today, that boundary has almost completely disappeared. In India, surveys show about 88 to 90% of employees are contacted outside official work hours, including during sick leave and public holidays. Even more concerning, 79% of employees say ignoring these after hours messages could negatively affect their career, whether through missed promotions or reputational damage. This isn't about emergencies, it's about a culture where personal time is no longer truly personal, simply because smartphones make everyone reachable 24/7. And this pressure didn't begin in India. The first country to formally recognize this problem was France. In 2016, France became the first country in the world to introduce a legal right to disconnect. French government labor studies had found that employees were doing 5 to 7 hours of unpaid work every week purely because of after hours emails and calls. At the same time, national health data showed a sharp rise in stress related illness and burnout among white collar workers. India entered this conversation much later. By 2019, India had crossed 500 million smartphone users, and work communication had largely shifted to emails, messaging apps, and collaboration platforms. That year, India saw its first national level attempt to address this issue when the Right to Disconnect Bill was introduced in Parliament as a private member's bill by Supriya Sule. Not by the government, but by an individual member of Parliament. It didn't pass, as most private members' bills don't. But the conditions that demanded it didn't slow down, they intensified. In India, this problem cuts deeper because of how work already functions. Long hours are normalized, competition is intense, job security often feels fragile. So, when surveys show that nearly 8 out of 10 employees fear career consequences for not responding after hours, that isn't flexibility, it's pressure. For younger employees, first job workers, and contract staff, availability becomes a survival strategy. People respond not because they want to work more, but because they don't feel safe disconnecting. The result is silent overtime, unpaid, undocumented, and emotionally exhausting. Work doesn't end, it leaks. And over time, this constant low level engagement drains energy, sleep, and mental health. This is also why the Right to Disconnect bill keeps returning. Not because of politics, but because the problem refuses to disappear. Every time work spills further into personal life, the demand resurfaces. Every time burnout stories go viral, the conversation restarts. Every time people realize they are working more without being paid more, the question comes back, where does this stop? That's why the bill was reintroduced in 2025. At its core, the proposal is simple. It states that employees should not be forced to respond to official communication after work hours or on holidays. It seeks clear boundaries between professional demands and personal time. Proposes the creation of an employee welfare authority to protect this right. and mandates overtime compensation for work done beyond official hours. Whether this bill becomes law or not remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the conversation isn't going away. The fact that this issue keeps resurfacing shows that constant digital availability has stopped feeling normal. People are no longer quietly accepting that being reachable means being available forever.